Hey everyone, Lewis aka Spider-Man 1991 here with another comic book review. These comics came out on Captain America's birthday, July 4th. As always, I'll rank the titles from worst to best. Let's get started. Green Arrow, number 42. Green Arrow fights the parasite and catches him. This story was just basically filler. You can skip it. Avengers, number 4. Odin tells Thor the legend of the Avengers BC, Doctor Strange and Iron Man find the Eternals slaughtered, and Captain Marvel and Black Panther study members of the Final Host's Horde. This book is actually pretty well balanced for a team book. I mean, everyone gets like their own moment in the issue that kind of help progress the story, which is very nice. Also, I think the death of the Eternals in this issue kind of like sets up how Marvel Comics is probably going to set up a new Eternals series once we get once production goes underway on the Eternals movie, because Marvel Studios is planning on making one. Go-Go Power Rangers, number 11. Kimberly destroys her future self's bow, which breaks Lord Dracon, aka evil future Tommy, from controlling future Kimberly. Shortly after that, future Kim joins the rest of the Rangers at Ernie's Juice Bar for a little nostalgia, and Lord Dracon tries to contact her, but unfortunately, he discovers that she's no longer under his control. So future Kimberly now decides to go on a new mission to help bring down Lord Dracon. This was actually a very good issue, and I think that because upcoming issues, most notably in August, have shown the future Kimberly on the cover. So I think once Shattered Grid is over, Kimberly is going to play a larger role in the post-Shattered Grid Mighty Morphin timeline. And also, I don't think Go-Go Power Rangers might continue on, because I looked at August solicitations from Boom and it's not listed, so next issue might be the last one, in theory. Also, the only thing that I don't really like is the character Matt, who is Kimberly's then boyfriend. I just don't get why we need to care about this guy. Like, he's just there and he's involved in the story for some reason. I don't understand why he has to be involved. He seems like a pretty useless character. Ant-Man the Wasp, number 3. Ant-Man and Burdolin, the micro-scientist that captured Nadia, help free the Wasp. However, when they try to get out of the go through another portal to try to get out of the microverse, which Nadia's messed up site is somehow able to locate, when they go through it though, Scott comes out in a negative image, so to speak. He looks like, and I think the most appropriate way to describe this is he looks like a negative image, like when you like how people used to develop film photographs and you'd get the negatives back. That's what Scott looked at. Also, this transformation has caused him to speak in reverse, like Zatanna. I gotta be honest, this is a very fun series. It really knows how to embrace the weirdness of the microverse and turn it into a very fun, fantastic voyage. And I think that fans of science fiction adventures should definitely check this series out. Also, this won't be an ongoing. It's only going to be 5 miniseries, and right now we're on issue 3, so we've only got 2 issues left, but so far it's a very interesting series. Doctor Strange, number 3. Doctor Strange and Kanna's journey takes them to the planet Tarmax 2. Strange hopes to study with a Skrull sorcerer, but they discover that the planet, which is currently being ruled by the Super Skrull, also has the Time Stone. And of course, you know, as you can tell here, it ties into the Infinity Wars event that's going on right now. And normally, whenever there's like a tie-in issue for a big event on an ongoing title, when I'm not reading the event, sometimes those issues are not very good. But in this case, this was actually very well written. I liked it a lot. It definitely sort of led a small trail to Infinity Wars to like get the reader interested, and I have to admit, it did kind of work on me to get me a little interested in this event, but it didn't have to sacrifice Doctor Strange's ongoing story in order to tell it. Also, we do get a teaser about what's going on in the Sanctum Sanctorum, since Stephen Strange is no longer on Earth. So Doctor Strange number 3, still a great read, and I'm still interested in this new direction that Doctor Strange is going in. Nightwing number 46. Batgirl arrives in Bloodhaven to help Nightwing combat the malware virus Worm, which is taking control of all the VR rigs that Bloodhaven has installed throughout the city. I wasn't really a big fan of this arc when it initially started. I was unsure about it, but now I'm kind of interested in where it's going. There's a very nice exploration about the negative aspects of technology since, now we're living in a more technological based society. Also, any issue that has Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon together, I'm okay. I'll definitely give it a try, and I definitely loved it in this issue. I love the way Ben Percy kind of wrote the interactions between Barbara and Dick. Also, we get the debut of Nightwing's Night Cave. Wing Cave? Whatever, he's got a subterranean... Apparently, Dick has a subterranean lair in Bloodhaven, and you have to see it to believe it. But yeah, Nightwing definitely is starting to be a bit more interesting now. Justice League number 3. Jon Stewart arrives on Earth infected by the invisible emotional spectrum, which makes him a member of the Ultraviolet Corps. And Martian Manhunter and Superman continue their trek on to the site of the Totality event on Earth. This series is just awesome. The entire stories are all these larger-than-life threats, which are the perfect threats for the Justice League. It feels honestly, this feels very much like Grant Morrison's JLA run. This issue also contains some great references to Jon Stewart's history, particularly the big moment from the classic story arc Cosmic Odyssey, which was the destruction of Xanshi. Also, this opens up with Sinestro right before he joined the Green Lantern Corps, where he almost discovered the invisible emotional spectrum. There's a lot going on in this title. If you like Scott Snyder's work, if you've read Dark Knight's Metal, then you definitely need to be reading this title. Man of Steel number 6. Flashbacks officially confirm that Lois and John went with Jor-El. In the present, Superman disables Rogol-Zar's bomb, and Supergirl sends Rogol to the Phantom Zone. Okay, we all probably, by last issue or so, we all figured out where Lois and John most likely went, and this issue just confirms what we already predicted. However, I felt that the way Bendis delivered it was very entertaining. I liked how we understand, like, the real reason John wants to go is because he's willing to do whatever it takes to avoid the alternate reality from the Super Sons Titans crossover, which said he would eventually destroy his powers would get out of control and he'd accidentally destroy millions of people. I think that was somehow very mature of John to bring that up, and I think it shows that he's definitely growing a lot. There's also a really great scene where after Lois and John leave with Jor-El, Clark just goes back into John's room and he just looks at one of John's toys and then just kind of like sulks there for like the rest of the night. And I thought that was a really brilliant scene. Like, you can understand how sad, how disappointing, and Superman's sadness and everything, because he's just basically lost his son for now. And then later you find out that during the fight with Rogol and the Force of Solitude, Superman lost the only communicator that he had to Lois and John, which when you hear that after going through the entire thing of Lois and John leaving, it really hits you hard when you read Superman telling Kara that. Also, we do get some setup for the new status quo. We get a lead into what's going to happen when Supergirl's title returns and she goes on this quest to find out more information about Rogol-Zar. We do get kind of a setup, what I think will be the story in Action Comics, when we find out that apparently young boy Metropolis saw Superman starting the fires. And I think that's basically what's going to be the direction for Action Comics, because from the ads and the previews for Superman and Action Comics, both of which are going to be written by Bendis, I believe Action is going to be more focused on his adventures in Metropolis, whereas Superman will probably be more space science fiction oriented. And I think that's the title where we're going to be dealing with a lot of the Lois and John stuff. Overall, I'd say if the point of the series was just to get readers hyped for the new direction of Superman comics under Bendis' pen, then I'd say mission accomplished. Since it's the 4th of July, it makes sense that this came out. Captain America number 1. Captain America is still fighting terrorism, but is plagued by his own doubts. This issue goes into more detail about what happened after the events of Secret Empire, and I gotta be honest, it does a good job presenting that this is a world that isn't just recovering, it's basically completely broken. I gotta be honest though, I think if this title came out like right after Secret Empire, then I'd probably be a lot more receptive to it, but it's been over a year since Secret Empire ended, so it feels odd that we're just now revisiting this aspect. the book does present a great monologue by Captain America when he's trying to save people, but also dealing with his own doubts. And eventually, though, we find out that the government still doesn't completely trust him, and when Cap goes and asks about Sharon Carter for some information, she doesn't even completely trust him. However, on a positive note, Bucky's back. So if Bucky's back in the Captain America title, I'm on board for that. Also, I'm really glad that they timed this to be out on the 4th of July. That's just a really great marketing technique. While I am a bit unsure about how effective going into the fallout of Secret Empire a year after the event is, it still sets up a very interesting character piece for Captain America, because I think this is like probably one of the first times that Cap is really starting to doubt himself, and which is odd because Captain America, he always comes off as a character that has a plan, knows what he's doing, is confident, but this time he's definitely still shaking. This time though, he is definitely shaken, so I'm very curious about to see what happens to Captain America next. Okay, the last title, my pick of the week, and this is a big one because it was trending probably trending even more than Captain America. Batman number 50. If you haven't read this issue, or if you haven't seen any of the spoilers online, congrats, you get 10 points. But I am going to be getting into spoilers, so if you don't want to know what happened, don't watch the video, come back to it later. So Batman and Catwoman decide to get married, just get married immediately at dawn on a rooftop. Batman gets a judge and Alfred, and they each get one witness. Batman chooses Alfred, and Catwoman chooses her old friend Holly Robinson. Ultimately, though, Catwoman's conversations with Holly lead her to leave Batman at the altar, or technically rooftop. And also, when Bruce talks to Alfred on the way to the rooftop, he even has some doubts. And then once Catwoman doesn't show up and Holly's returned to prison, we find out that apparently Holly has been working with Bane the whole time, and that this has been part of Bane's scheme to break the Bat again. I gotta be honest, the entire point of this arc, I don't believe, was about Batman and Catwoman finally tying the knot, because as we got closer to the date, as we got closer to this issue, a lot of the stories that Tom King wrote sort of dealt with the issue about whether or not Bruce Wayne could be happy and still be Batman. Like when Batman and Catwoman get engaged, everyone starts to notice like Batman is happier now, and everyone starts to wonder, like, you know, Batman was born out of tragedy. Could he be happy? And it's that question that ultimately gets Selina to leave Bruce. So it's definitely a very interesting piece, and I was really hoping, and honestly, I kind of had a feeling that would have been a possibility that they don't get married, and I'm a little disappointed by it, but I'm glad that the build up to it though was very well done, and I think that's why I'm not completely against it. I still think that behind all that build up about whether Bruce could be happy definitely led to an obvious moment, but it was still such an entertaining way that I'm willing to overlook it that doesn't agree with something that I wanted. The rest of the issue though was fantastic. First of all, artwork wise, the main story is like sort of intercut, where we've got different artists paying homage to Batman and Catwoman's decades-long courtship. Almost every 2 pages, there's one by different artists who draws Batman and Catwoman in some pose, while also the caption boxes on those pages sort of reveal the letters that Bruce wrote to Selina and Selina wrote to Bruce. And also as Bruce and Selina are getting ready, the shots really parallel each other very nicely. Like you can see that these two are definitely meant to be together. But ultimately they choose to be apart. Oh, and my favorite scene in this entire issue though was when after Bruce gets in his suit and Alfred asks him who he wants to be his witness. And Alfred asks, "Are you going to get Dick? Do you want me to call Clark?" And Batman says, "No, I just need you, Alfred, because it's always been you you've always been there for me since the beginning, and I would be lost I can't do anything without you." And at that moment, Alfred doesn't say anything. He just walks over and he hugs, and they hug. That has to be like one of the best Alfred scenes I've ever read. Oh man. Yeah, and yeah, I almost cry every time I think about that scene. Also, there's a funny little Easter egg here where each time we see a different scene or scene where the characters are, each location pays an homage to a different Batman creator, which is amazing. Overall, Batman number 50 is a fantastic issue. Even though it wasn't the outcome that we all wanted, even though it was spoiled online, it's still an amazing, well-written issue. And the writer, and also Tom King, has stated that this is sort of the halfway point for his 100-issue planned arc. So I have to say, though, that Batman has pretty much been a hit since Tom King took over. Every issue has been fantastic. DC, you gotta let him finish this story, okay? Let him work for 100 issues on this title, all right? All right, because I want to see where he's gonna go after this. Batman number 50. It's $5 for the issue, but it is worth it. Although the only drawback is that I think that in order to really understand the value of it, you would have to be reading this title since Tom King took over. So there's a little caveat, but nevertheless, I love this issue a lot. It's got a lot of heart into it. It's got a very big reveal. It's got a great reveal, and I think that why it's my pick of the week. Thank you again for watching. Remember to stay subscribed and notified. If you want to know when I post a new video, just hit the bell icon, or you can follow me on my Twitter. My Twitter always posts new links whenever I upload a new video. Link is in the description below. Thank you again for watching. I'm Spider-Man 1991. Later days.